Hey guys, Alfie here on HyperGadgets, and in this video we're going to be balancing the Feiyu G6 Plus on a Panasonic Lumix G7. So before we get started, you want to orient the gimbal in the correct way with the pan axis at the bottom and the roll axis facing towards you. The pan axis is the one that allows the gimbal to move left and right. The roll axis, as you can see here, is the one that allows the gimbal to move side to side, and finally the tilt axis allows the camera to tilt forward and backwards on the gimbal. Now that we know which axis is which, we can begin by unreleasing the quick release plate, which just has this turn knob here which you can loosen up and take out, and then once we've done that we'll attach it to the camera and insert it back in. The next thing you want to do is figure out how you'll use the camera on the gimbal. So in my example I have the screen out, and as it's a fixed lens, there isn't any zooming or zooming out, so I don't really have to worry about that. If you're using a camera that extends when the camera's on, you'll want to turn it on when you're setting it up. So just screw the quick release plate back in and then slide it back into the gimbal, and then follow the next steps. Once the camera is into the gimbal, you'll want to make sure it's really nice and secure, as the next step will configure the pan axis and we don't want it to fall out. So for this step you'll want to hold the gimbal horizontally and make sure that the pan axis is in line with it. So at the moment it is looking quite low, so we want it to be higher up. So what we'll do is adjust the pan axis knob by loosening it and making small adjustments until it's completely in line. I've done it here quite quickly, but do make sure to take your time to make sure it's perfect. Once you've done that, we can move on to the roll axis. So for this one you'd want to sit the gimbal down on a flat surface such as a desk or a table, then make small adjustments to the roll axis until it's level. If you need help with this, you can use the camera's built-in leveler. Sometimes you need to toggle the display settings in order to find this, so this is how you do it on the Panasonic Lumix G7, and it really does help with this step. Once that's done, you have to make sure the camera isn't leaning too far forward or back, so once again we can use the camera's built-in leveler to do this. As you can see here in the middle of the camera screen, there is a yellow line and a white line. Once it reaches the middle, it will turn green. So to do that, all you have to do is loosen the quick release plate, make small adjustments by moving the plate forward and back, and once you're happy that it's all in line, tighten it up and ensure it's secure. Next you'll want to position the tilt axis until it's in the lowest position that it can be in. So this step is fairly simple. All you have to do is loosen it, lower it, and then tighten it back up. You may notice that one of the axes aren't leveled anymore, so all you'll have to do is go back and make the small adjustments until you're happy that it's all level again. And that's everything completed. So now you can go ahead and turn the gimbal on and everything will be smooth and stable. As you can see here, moving left to right there's no problem, and also up and down everything is smooth as can be. An issue that I've noticed with the Panasonic Lumix G7 is the height of it. So with the gimbal, it doesn't quite easily go over the viewfinder and does get caught on it. This isn't really a problem with the gimbal, but more of the camera itself. So this isn't a problem that you'll have with the Sonys, I believe, as they are quite a bit smaller in terms of the height. The gimbal can still go over the camera, but you just need to be quite careful when doing this, as it can get caught and you don't want to damage the camera or the motors of the gimbal. Finally, if you have any problems with the motors making noise or vibrating, you can fix this by installing the Feiyu On App, which is available on the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store. So this will allow you to connect to the gimbal over Bluetooth and change the motor strength, as you can see here. So first you'll connect to the gimbal itself, click the settings button on next to the name of the gimbal. Once you do that, choose motor strength, then choose adaption. What adaption does is automatically changes the motor strength depending on the weight of the camera, so it will lower it if it's heavier. If it doesn't apply the settings by itself, you can manually adjust. After saving the settings, you might need to reboot the gimbal in order to notice the difference. So keep making adjustments until you're sure that the motor noise has gone and everything is done. If this video helped you out, make sure to get hype on that like button, subscribe and comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!